how's it doing? What inspired you to make this? Because I truly think it's genius.
Thanks. So I've always loved to cook. I've always wanted a cooking show, or I wanted to be in the culinary world somehow. If it wasn't me making, having a restaurant, it was I just wanted to be part of the culinary world. And whenever the lockdown first happened at the beginning of the pandemic, I was trapped at home. And that's really whenever the hot sauce came about. I put paper to pen, started reaching out to companies, brainstorming and finding the right people to align myself with to start a company in hot sauce. I'm from Louisiana. We have Tabasco, Louisiana hot sauce. The vinegar-based cayenne pepper hot sauce is known worldwide. And I just wanted to leave my own stamp on the hot sauce game and come up with my own. And I teamed up with some great guys, and now we have Poirier's Louisiana style.
I think it's so great. Another huge question that I was getting on my social when I promoted this AMA was people asking what would be the next flavor of the hot sauce.
So we have two, right? We have the original, we have the OG, and we have the KO edition, which is it's fermented with ghost pepper. It's hot. That's about my limit. The KO edition is about as hot as I can take, and I still have to be careful with that because I can mess up a meal if I put too much on it. So, but if you like spice, that's the one for you. Mess up a meal if I put too much on it. So, but if you like spice, that's the one for you. I think the next is perfect. I think a 3-pack would be great. And we're kind of leaning towards a bourbon barrel aged, maybe maple syrup. We're going to go sweet. We're going to switch it up on everyone and come out with a really good sauce for this next one.
Okay, I'm in for that one. Put me down for several bottles because that flavor sounds.
Got you. Send the address.
Okay, perfect. Something that I think people should know about if they aren't as familiar with you as they should be, is the fact that win or lose, you are just the epitome of class in everything that you do. In your last fight, I think you moved a lot of us to tears when you made an offer with Charles to make a donation to an organization of his choice. Was that something you thought of before the fight, or was that something that came to in the octagon?
Yeah, that was premeditated, but it happened fight week. Whenever I was watching videos on YouTube, I was watching some of Charles's fights, and maybe a recommended video to watch was something I clicked on YouTube. It was him back home in Brazil, where he grew up, showing how little he had. And when I saw that, I was like, I have a platform. I have a charity that has the funds to do something in Brazil, and it just win, lose or draw. I didn't mean to do it in the octagon right after getting my neck snatched up, but I wanted to. The goal was to be the world champion, go to his locker room and tell him, hey, we'd love to help out where you came from. So it was definitely premeditated. Fight week, I saw a video that inspired me to say, hey, and I talked to the team and said, let's donate $20,000 to where this guy comes from, and I think that'll go far.
That is just incredible, and you are such a great ambassador for the sport of mixed martial arts for athletes worldwide, Dustin. I can't tell you that enough. So we appreciate everything you do for not only your own community, but for communities around the world. It's so important. So before we end this AMA, it's an AMA, so we need to hear from some fans. They're submitting questions we can barely even keep up with left and right. So I'm going to just start with some of these ones that have been sent to me. Madeline Weathers is asking, oh, this is interesting. I didn't actually know you did this, Dustin. Why do you always go camping before a big fight? Does being in the outdoors help you get in tune with your fighting instincts?
I never go camping. I don't know what that is.
I was like, that's amazing. I was like, I didn't know that about him.
I'm not against camping, but I haven't been camping in years.
I'm against camping because it's terrible. All right, let's go to a different one. Louis C. Okay, this is a good question. How has your training changed throughout the progression of your career?
That's I guess a complicated question, because throughout the progression of my career, I know what I need to focus on for certain fights, but also I've been in the game a long time, so I can't go all out like I used to when I was a young kid, when I was 20 years old training for fights. It's some days it's about quantity, some days it's about quality. And as it gets closer and tapers off towards that fight, I know exactly, me and my team know what I need to be doing, what I need to be focused on to check all the boxes, to make sure I'm doing everything I can to perform that night. It's just going through training camps time after time. You start to, everybody has a different rhythm and a different way they do things. I've kind of really focused down on mine and know what I need to do, you know, when it comes to the weight, when it comes to the cardio, the strength and conditioning, and then also the fight itself, what we need to be focusing on. So it's, I go into these training camps not so much just hoping for the best. It's definitely a little bit of hoping for the best, but a lot of planning and preparation.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of fighting, let's see who just asked this, but the question was, what fight, if you could relive any, would it be? That's from Brady Caddy.
If I can like redo,
Yeah, or just,
I mean,
or you loved it so much you want to do it again.
uh, the ones that really draw out the best in me, that's the ones that I really enjoy, like the Max Holloway or the Justin Gaethje fight. Fights where I'm bleeding, my opponent's bleeding, we're both hurting, but we have to keep pushing. Those are the kind of fights I love the most. So yeah, I love that feeling, getting up fourth round, fifth round, and pushing forward. I go back home to my Airbnb or my hotel room after those kind of fights, just proud.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you should be. Speaking of fights, is there a place, Casey Muller asked this, is there a place, or Mueller, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, or a location you've always wanted to fight, or your favorite place to fight?
I'd love to fight at Madison Square Garden. I really would. I mean, it's just the name MSG in the, you know, headlining. It's just such an incredible thing in combat sports history, and I've never had the opportunity to fight there. So that's a place that's still on the list.
The world's most famous arena is
Yeah,
iconic for sure. I hope you get that opportunity because it is really special.
thanks.
Yeah. All right. Arnold wants to know, or I'm sorry, Shiner 2022. Any advice that you can give for young people who want to become fighters?
Yeah, that one's easy. You know, I say it all the time, and you probably heard me say it, is consistency and stay a student. Like the days, how I've got to where I'm at is the days I don't want to go in, I don't feel like going in, I go in. And I get better at something every day, you know, and remain a student. You have to remain a student. You can learn something from everyone, no matter their experience. You know, I learned stuff from amateurs, whether it's a mindset or a way of going about a technique. You know, I ask questions and listen. Be a student always, and you'll continue to grow.
I mean, you're always a student, but you're also a teacher to a lot of us as well with all the things you do with your charitable efforts and how you conduct yourself. So Dustin, my final question is, for your birthday tomorrow, what are you doing?
I'm out here at the distillery. I'm in North Carolina in the mountains in the snow. I think I'm going to have a nice dinner, and I got to get back home. You know, I got to get back home and get back to these guys. I have a bunch of buddies getting ready for fights. But the big 33, I'm probably going to drink some bourbon and eat a steak. That's what I'm doing.
That sounds like an excellent plan, Dustin. I hope that 33 is your most blessed year yet. I hope everything you want to happen in your life comes to fruition. I appreciate you joining us for this Crypto.com AMA. Everyone go follow Dustin Poirier on Instagram. I'm Megan O'Leary. I appreciate you all tuning in. Dustin, thank you so much for your time. It's my pleasure and honor as always. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Megan.
Bye, guys.